Hey, Green Chili, hello and welcome to a new video. Been a while, got sick, food poisoning, things like that. But today, it's not about the bike. It is about the accessories that go with the bike. And in fact, there's few accessories I gotta show before I take the bike away. There's a few of them actually, there's three. First one is, and I'm a champion of budget, so Walmart and Harbor Freight is usually where I go for a lot of my bicycle needs before I even begin to look online. But this, if you buy this from like the bikesmiths.com, this will cost you like 3 times the amount that I bought it for, which was only like $4. No, it was actually $3.97 plus tax, so it came out to like $3.50 at best. And it's a 15 by 12 cargo net, and I guess you're supposed to use it for motorcycles, but I'm on a regular cycle, so I'm on an acoustic bike, so that's what we're doing here. But it works great for my front rack. It's the perfect size, so that's awesome. Now, one of these other accessories I'd like to show you is my light. Is my Lizy USB light. The USB probably needs to be updated. I think it's on USB B, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's USB A or B or something like that. I think it's B, because if it was A, it would have a little harder indentation towards the top part when it translates to the bottom and stuff. How it has that little angle on it, but it has a little cap on it, and it's really nice. Keeps the water out. It's super bright. At least in my opinion, it's pretty bright. It's bright enough to be seen, and that's all I'm really worried about, because the streets in my city are pretty well lit. There's a few streets out there that you can't see too well, but as long as you don't obsess about it, you should make it through. And if you know your way around the streets, it should go pretty good. I got that online. I got the cargo net from Harbor Freight. But the coolest thing I want to show you guys is my bike light on the back, my rear light. It's a little detachable unit. And this was made by Concord. Concord is a brand that's sold in Walmart that I really come to like a lot, because it's really cheap. And if you do your research, you can get exactly what you're looking for. And exactly what I was looking for was a rechargeable rear light. So I did have a rechargeable rear light, but it didn't have the attachment to go onto the bike and click into the attachment and stay secure. I usually had to kind of fish it through somewhere on my cut up bike seat, or I had to attach it to my backpack or my belt, and I got tired of that. So I bought Concords from Walmart, their little light. I think this was like, if I'm not mistaken, it couldn't have been more than like $20. It was not that much at all. It was like 15, $20. It says only 5 lumens, but it's got some options on it, and I think it's a little bit brighter than 5. So, but I'll show you. It clicks into this little black square sticking out, and has a locking mechanism on the actual attachment to the bike. So it'll lock it in place, so you don't have to worry about it jungling around and if it'll rattle loose. Then it actually has USB-C on it, which is kind of nice. So I can charge it with my phone or whatever I'm charging my phone with and whatnot. I can switch it out like that real quick. But that's probably my favorite feature right there. That grabs attention, and that's what I want. I'm not buying a rear light to see behind me. I'm just making sure I'm being seen from behind. So, and it's got all kinds of settings. It's pretty great. It has a lower setting for daytime, blinking for daytime, I should say. Slow blink. But that one's probably my favorite right there. And you just press and hold, and it turns off again. Slides right back into that little clasp. And since it's got little ports that are covered with rubber, I feel a little confident taking it through the rain and everything. So I wouldn't get it 100% soaked, but it'll do the job if you keep it in an inconspicuous place that's pretty much away from rain, like, underneath your seat. Hopefully you got fenders to make sure it doesn't splash. But that one I highly recommend from Walmart. One of my favorites. I'm on see, I would link it, but it would just give you a link to Walmart, and that kind of does its own thing. Anyways, so this used to be the bike lock that I used to use, and one day I was out and about running errands, and thankfully, as soon as I was done running my errands and I was done at my appointment for the day, I came out to my bike upon the bike rack, and there was an individual who I assumed was locking up their bike. But lo and behold, when I paid attention and I studied him enough, he had a backpack full of tools ready to put an attack on this lock. Now, he did not attack this lock. It's been attacked once before, but I guess somebody tried to shove their own key in there and try to make it work. Didn't work. Kind of got stuck. I put a little WD-40 or graphite in there, jammed it back in, and kind of reset the lock how it's supposed to be. It's still a solid lock, but something told me this guy either had a grinder on him or he had a drill, and that's the one I was worried about. So this is On Guard's little mini U-lock, pretty solid, well built, but I need something that can resist those attacks from being picked, drilled, levered on, and all those things. So one of the things that I got was, you'd think it was a pretty penny, because they do have bike locks that are $100 plus. But no, I was able to find a diamond solid secure rated bike lock, U-lock, that was under $100. That was actually under $75, which is surprising. I got the Via Velo, and I got the other little thing that comes along with it. The mini U-lock from Via Velo. It's the only mini U-lock that is diamond sold secure rated. So it's got a 9 rating on their own internal security rating. But this thing, man, you should see this. You see it has a door, 2 metal plates in the way to prevent picking attacks and hopefully maybe a drilling attack or two. It's way more robust. It even looks better, has that speckle throughout it, the gold Via Velo. It's heavy. Quite honest, yeah, you could feel the difference. This is way heavier than this. This got some weight to it, but then as you see here on the packaging, pocket size, double locking, so that you have to cut through this twice in order to get it let go, you know. So, and the inner dimensions, 5.7 by 3.5 inches. 5.7 inches by 3.5 inches. It's 1.8 pounds. This thing, it's a little beast. And I like how square it is instead of rounded at the top. It gives you that much more space when you lock up your things, when you lock up your bike. That's what I really like. Let's head back to Harbor Freight. They have a really big selection of all kinds of gloves. Like huge selection. They got winter gloves, they got wet gloves, they got work gloves, but I got the ones that I could tell. They said they were for high dexterity gloves, if you will. And so that could be like, you know, working with figurines, things of that nature, what have you. But the more I looked at them, the more I saw that they're more of a cycling glove. Maybe not like a warm weather cycling glove, because beyond 80, 85 degrees, they will contribute to your body warming up. I've felt this before. So they will get you kind of warm, especially since they're black. But not bad, though. They got great padding. When I didn't have these grips, I relied heavily on my gloves to make sure I was comfortable. And these things work great. They even got the little sweat pad. I even got a little sweat right here. Oh, look at that. Clean, nice. Get it out of the way. It doesn't go in your eyes. And yeah, they're solid gloves. They're pretty cheap. I think they're like, if I remember correctly, they were like $7 out the door. Really not that bad. From Harbor Freight, by the way. That Hardy brand. So those are the gloves I like to wear. Those are some of the lights in my knit, my lock, or locks, if I do need a second lock. Chain tool. I have a separate chain that's ready to go whenever this one breaks or snaps, or hopefully it does not. I try my best to keep up on the maintenance of my chains, but it's a master link tool, and that's pretty good to have because this one has a master link. The new chain I bought has a master link to it that should work with that, so that's pretty cool. And of course, my key that goes with my Via Velo. I'll set that out of the way. Got some things to throw over here. Speaking of the chain tool, here's the chain itself. Now, this is just something I got from Walmart. It's Concord brand. It's a single speed chain, but it's a solid piece of metal to get me through until I get another chain, just in case anything happens to that chain. So it's on standby, ready to go whenever I need it. This is probably my oldest piece of equipment here. I've had it for years. You can tell it's nice and sun stained and everything. But it's my Fat Fucks cycling cap. And man, this thing has saved me more than once. I gotta tell you, not only does it control your sweat, where it goes, and all that good stuff, but you could dip it in the river, or if you got a clean water bottle, or you get a water fountain anywhere, and you can clean this thing out, and you can see all the dirt leave the cap. As long as you're continuously sweating through it and continuously pouring water and wringing water out, the salt in your sweat will actually help kind of keep it clean as long as you keep on top of it. So definitely a great accessory to have. I'm going to keep it on for right now. CO2. I actually use a regular pump, but this is, I guess, like I do Uber Eats. So in case I get, I get a puncture and I just don't want to sit there and pump all day, there you go. Make sure it's threaded correctly on there, but it should work great. Another thing by Lysine too, by my light company, they make good pumps for bicycles and such. My main chain brake, I think from Planet Bike, if I'm not, or White Lightning made this one. And so, yeah, not too bad. Haven't used it yet. It's for at-home use because these two other tools I already showed you guys, so you guys already know all about it. I'm just going to show them one more time real quick. I had to use them in the other videos. So, for my Pedro's 6-pack chain tool. It's a chain tool with an Allen wrench, a flat head, and it has 3 different sizes of spoke nipples that you can adjust with. Then they say this middle hole, you can use that for Presto valve removal. The Trixie, again by Pedro's. Pedro's makes some really solid tools. It's my lock ring tool, just in case my lock ring decides to slip, and get a little loose. I can tighten her back up and then I don't have to worry about it, especially if I backpedal to help me brake and everything on a fixed gear. So, then it's got the 15mm bolt remover. It's got the bottle opener, and it's got 2 metric hex keys there, and a couple open-ended box wrenches there. Real small stuff. I don't know if I can really use it on this. We'll see. This just goes with the light to charge it. Last thing to show you, that's Pedro's, or my Pedro's tire levers. Probably already showed you in those last videos where I was making the wheels happen and stuff. But they collapse together, hard plastic, real thick, durable. I like how curved the curvature is because you can really dig into the tire beads and the wheels themselves and help you get in there. So that really helps. And a couple more things here. I am missing a size, I think in Allen key. I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't doubt it. But they got this really cool set from Blackburn, another brand by Walmart that's become real popular. but they got this little tool pouch, and you can put your links, your patch kit, your levers. You got all kinds of tools. I got a 10 millimeter here that I use a lot, the socket, and I also got some hexes, a Phillips. I think I'm missing my flat. That's what it was. And it's got a ratcheting tool. It's got a cool little, and you just flip the switch right there, slip it back, and boom. Real easy, real convenient. I like it a lot. I recommend it. I don't know if they still make it and if they still sell it. Oh, this also came with this. So I just slide that up in there. Just more tool to have. And yeah, that's mostly it. The rest of it is just my big adjustable wrench to keep on me just in case. And it all wraps up nicely in there. I don't know if I could fit the other Pedro's tools in there. There's a lot to ask. Let's see. Sorry, I'm all blocking the camera. I'm trying to adjust this so I can see if I could fit the Pedro stuff in there like that. Kind of like that. Boom. It worked. Everything in there. So obviously the tools that I would like to carry on me are going to be my inflator tool, my Trixie tool, my Blackburn set, my Master Link wrench or Master Link pliers, my lock, my gloves, my hat, my chain, key, and yeah, that's pretty much everything. And this is what it's going to go into right there. That is my bike lock holster. Allow me to show you. Now these are kind of like designed by bicycle messengers, for bicycle messengers, but anybody else can buy them from the website. There's no professionals only type of thing on it. But trash bag or trash can, trash bag, trash bag, trash can. I'm not sure what it says on there. I have to check it out. But either way, this particular brand, made by a man that goes by the name of Andy Larson. He's a one-man show. Administrative, building the bags and the belts themselves, all that stuff, done by one man. So, and this is where I decided to keep my tools inside this specially made bag for messengers. Put your key rings on there. Even got a little wallet pocket, pen pocket, another little pen pocket to stick more stuff in there. But I like to put all of my bike gear because it comes around maybe a little bit heavier than an actual bike lock, but at least there's some type of like felt balance of weight in everything. So, boom, see, everything fits nicely in there. Pull it over. There you go. And I really like the clasping system. It clasps. You pull down or pull up to get it through there, and as you're pulling up, it's clasping it into the place you like, and you pull cinch it closed, and boom, you're pretty much set. But we're gonna pull out for my pouch here. Kind of hard to do this without seeing, but once you get it into the slot where the belt slides into it, it's pretty easy. And thankfully, it's about the same size or the same length as the what's called the bike lock holster. Literally on the same length, and so Yeah, it might dangle a little bit, might pull on your pants a little bit. Once you get everything through and adjust it, it's really not that bad. It's a pretty good system in my opinion, and I like it a lot. Thankfully, there you go. Thank you for tolerating the glimpses of my belly being shown. Thank you guys for being a cool, understanding audience, hopefully. And, and you just kind of adjust that as you adjust back here. As soon as you get stuff picked up to where you want it, just kind of like that. And you're pulling that real hard, like that. Yeah. There we go. And like I said, just like so. Boom. Once it gets past this point, it's super easy and you can let it go. Stuff's not gonna flop about. Hi, kitty. Might need a little more. There we go. Boom. Now I got my bike lock, my tools, everything right there with me as I need it when I need it. Boom. And I used to do this and put my bike lock right, or my bike light, my rear light right there. I got tired of that because I almost lost it a few times. Thankfully, I got a cheap alternative solution. Again, I'm a budget cyclist. I'm trying to spend as least money as I can, but as long as it's functional and lets me do what I need to do, then I'm very happy with it. And that's where most of my accessories come from, is either Walmart or somewhere cheap online. Typically, I go with, like I said, Harbor Freight or Walmart stuff. Like the Concord brand has a lot of great accessories. Some of them are really cheap. I'm not going to deny that. But if you dig through all their stuff, and if they got something in stock near you and you like it and it serves the purpose that you need and it's durable enough to what you want, then I suggest getting it because it's a cheap, easy solution. It's real nice. It's there. So, but those are all my accessories. And we're going to go on a little bike ride hopefully here in the next minute or two. Now I'm going to stop this and thank you guys for coming by and checking it out. This was the accessory video.